Hello there, it's Bianca from the Closet Historian once again, and today I wanted to show you a couple of things I picked up at the local antiques fair this past weekend. The good news is, I went antiquing. The bad news is, I didn't put any sunscreen on, so that's a shame. But, you know, we all make mistakes, and now I'm paying the price for it. I didn't get too much stuff. I was actually on the hunt for furniture, so I got a big dresser that I'll insert a photo of. So that was my big purchase for the day, but I did find a couple of things poking around each stall. It's really a interesting fair because a lot of it is just modern stuff being sold or someone who makes jewelry and like crafty stuff. So even though it's called an antique vintage market, it's only really about half, maybe less than that, vintage and antiques actually. It's a lot of shabby chic, like redone shutters and windows and random stuff. But I did manage to pick up a couple of awesome vintage finds, and I wanted to share those with you guys today. So the first thing I picked up this weekend was this little perfume bottle with a little atomizer. The atomizer has seen better days. The little plastic inside is cracked, so it's not something I can really use or refill or anything, but it just looks really pretty, and I love the green, sort of Slytherin green emerald color glass, and I thought it would look really pretty on my new dresser that I picked up at the fair. So I got this little guy. It was only $5, and I thought that was quite a deal for such a cute little decorative item. The next thing I picked up was from a booth where I didn't think I was going to really find anything because it's mostly big furniture, so unless they had a dresser, I really wasn't interested much with what they had. But on top of one of their dining tables, they had a basket full of vintage buttons, and I really like getting vintage buttons when I can get a set of them so I can use them all in one dress or blouse. But I noticed there were some buckles in with the buttons, so I picked out a few celluloid buckles. This one was just brown and green, and then there's this bigger one that's black, and then I got this mother of pearl one with the like center like tine here, so I'll have to put an eyelet in that belt when I make one. But I just thought these were great buckles for making 30s reproduction stuff, which I want to start making some more 30s clothes, so I thought these would come in handy for that. And then another find that was just too good of a deal to pass up was this little rayon sort of twill fabric purse. Just a little 40s or 50s purse. It's got a two-tone kiss clasp, so one side is silver and one side is gold. And it's got both gold and silver hardware throughout, so it'll match both. It's by a company called Virginia Art, whoever they were. But it's still in pretty good condition. I did notice, I got so excited because it was only $5 and I was like, I could use a black evening purse, let's go. But I noticed when I got it home that it does have some little damage down here at the corners of like white peeking through. So I'll probably just color that in with a dark marker because then it won't be it'll be less noticeable, even though those little wear areas will still be there. I've just noticed, funny enough, it says B on the little rivets in here. So that's nice. That's my initial. I don't know why it says B when the company is Virginia Art, but you know, it's a mystery I will never solve. So another thing I was on the lookout for besides a dresser when I was at the fair was some just new decorative things, maybe some vases or new bedside table lamps, just because I'm kind of refreshing my bedroom a little bit. And something I found that I really don't need more of, which is stuff to frame and hang on the walls because I have a lot of pictures on my walls, was this frame. I've actually already put it in a frame. This picture, I mean to say. I didn't get the frame at the fair, I got the frame at IKEA because IKEA is the best. But it's actually a map of Egypt, Abyssinia, and northeastern Africa from 1922. And I'm sure this was cut out of an atlas or a book, but I just really like old maps and I really would love to visit Egypt one day. So I decided to go ahead and get this map and frame it and put it up in my bedroom, especially because it's pink too and I'm kind of having a pink moment where I suddenly like pink all of a sudden. So the fact that it was pink was just a bonus. So I didn't get too much of the fair this time because I was trying to be good and stick onto a budget. But I did find a stall that had lots of hats, and hats are my weakness. And I don't need any more, but that didn't stop me. I figured it's my birthday month, so go for it. Just get a couple of hats. It's dangerous trains of thought there. So, but I got this one, which is black velvet and super flat and pretty amazing, and I just had to have it. It's just super cute. I mean, it's perfect for like 50s Dior kind of looks. You can put it back on the head if you wanted to go with that style. So the inside's just black silk with a black head ribbon. As you can see, I got this guy for $15, and I thought that was a pretty good deal for a velvet classic hat like this. It's got the little wire sections inside to clamp it onto your head, just like so. So you can kind of position it any way you like. I would probably still add a hat pin or a hat elastic or something to hold this on more, just because I often go out and find it's pretty windy, and these hats catch a lot of breeze underneath and it'll blow off your head real quickly. But I just love this sort of low crowned, almost 18th century inspired style, just because I've always loved the 18th century fashion. I like when that was kind of reused back in the 50s. So this was just a must have for me. Super cute. And then the last thing I got was another hat. And this one looked kind of sad where it was sitting because it's not the most structured hat. So it looked sort of, it looked like it was like too bent and it kind of flops around like that. But when you put it on your head, everything just turns out totally fine and it becomes this great hat. So, I mean, I had to have it, obviously. You know me and straw hats, or at least if you follow my blog at all, I have a straw hat obsession and I have too many of them. And this one, again, is so large that it's going to be hard to store. But, you know, finding storage solutions is sort of a worry after I get the hats, you know? New hats are more important than figuring out the storage solution. So this was another hat I picked up at the fair. This one was $20, so it was $5 more than the other one. But I thought that was pretty reasonable. I feel like these hats would be sold for $45 plus online. Whenever I'm antiquing or vintage shopping in person, I'm always comparing prices on things to what I know they go for online. And that just comes from being a problematically obsessed vintage like searcher on Etsy. So I just spend so much time shopping for vintage on Etsy that I sort of know what everything goes for on there. And that's not even from being a seller, it's just from being a constant buyer, which is, you know, problematic in many ways because I spend all my money on there. But it's good when you're out and about at vintage shops or thrift stores or vintage markets like this one, where you can kind of know how much things go for online, so you know if you're paying too much for something. It's interesting how some stalls will just have things priced maybe 3 or 4 times what they could go for online, and then it's just like, even with shipping, it's so much better to order them online, even if you can't try them on and things like that. So it's always good to kind of know when you start vintage collecting, start looking online just to know what prices are like, and then maybe even if you find something while you're out like thrifting and you can find something for really cheap, even if it's not your style, you know you could resell it for like a lot more online because the rate for a vintage shop online is going to be higher than a thrift store will sell something for. So it's good even if you don't plan on selling just as a buyer, but it's also good to know if you're going to thinking about starting to try and sell some vintage, just to know what the going rate is for things and then what you can get them for in person. I know I'll definitely be trying to go back to this booth again and see if they have more hats, because they had a lot of hats this time, so hopefully it's something they try to carry often. So hopefully this was a fun haul for you guys to watch and just see what I kind of look out for when I'm out vintage shopping. If you guys have any questions about buying vintage either in person or online, you can leave them below and I'll definitely try and answer them for you. It'd be good to use that knowledge for something, seeing as I buy too much stuff and I'm a bit of a shopaholic, but if it can help you in any way, that would be great. So leave me questions or comments below if you wanted to know anything more about that. And thank you guys for watching today, and I'll see you again later. Bye!